The movie begins with a U.S. Marshal named Teddy Daniels on a ferry, heading toward a remote island. The place is called Shutter Island, and it's home to a hospital for the criminally insane. Teddy isn't traveling alone. He's joined by his new partner, Chuck Howley. As they approach the island, the sky is gray and the sea is rough, setting a tense mood right from the start. It's clear that this won't be a routine visit. Teddy has been called here to investigate the mysterious disappearance of a patient named Rachel Solando, who somehow escaped from a locked room without a trace. Right away, Teddy looks uneasy, like he's not just here for the job, he's got personal reasons too. When they arrive, the two marshals are met with suspicion. The staff at the hospital, especially the guards and doctors, don't seem too eager to help. Everyone appears calm on the surface, but there's a strange energy in the air. Dr. Colley, the head psychiatrist, explains the case. Rachel was a patient who believed she was still living a normal life outside the hospital. One night, she just vanished from her room. Teddy finds it hard to believe anyone could escape from such a secure facility without help. The island is heavily guarded, surrounded by cliffs, and there's only one way in or out, the ferry. Yet Rachel is gone, and no one's talking. Teddy and Chuck start interviewing the hospital staff and other patients. Some people cooperate, while others act nervous or evasive. The patients they talk to are clearly disturbed, but a few say things that stick with Teddy. One even warns him to run. Teddy also begins to notice that the doctors are hiding things. Records are missing, and people keep giving him conflicting information. He suspects something bigger is going on behind the scenes. As they dig deeper, Teddy's instincts tell him that Rachel's disappearance might be a cover-up, and that the truth could be much darker than anyone is letting on. As the investigation continues, we learn more about Teddy's own past. He's haunted by memories of World War II, where he saw some terrible things while liberating a concentration camp. Those memories still haunt him, and now, being in a mental hospital seems to bring them all back. On top of that, Teddy lost his wife in a fire several years earlier. Her name was Dolores, and he has visions of her often, especially in his dreams. She speaks to him in riddles, sometimes warning him, sometimes comforting him. These dreams are emotional and confusing, blending his personal pain with the mysteries he's trying to solve on the island. Just as Teddy and Chuck begin making some progress, a massive storm hits the island. The weather turns violent, and all ferry travel is shut down. They're stuck on Shutter Island, isolated with no way to leave. The storm damages power lines, the phones go out, and the atmosphere gets even more tense. The marshals are forced to stay the night in the hospital, and Teddy starts to suffer from severe headaches and even more disturbing dreams. It feels like the island is trying to mess with his mind. Still, he's determined to find out what really happened to Rachel Solando, and what secrets the hospital is hiding. Teddy and Chuck sneak into restricted areas of the hospital. They search records, talk to more patients, and slowly uncover pieces of a puzzle. One of the biggest clues comes from a note found in Rachel's room. It simply reads, "The Law of Four. Who is 67?" Teddy becomes obsessed with this message. He believes it's a code, pointing to someone else on the island, maybe a hidden patient, maybe a dangerous secret. He also hears rumors about something called Ward C, a part of the hospital where the most dangerous patients are kept. No one wants to talk about it, but Teddy knows he has to get in there. Eventually, Teddy manages to sneak into Ward C during the storm. It's dark, cold, and unsettling. The patients inside are violent and heavily guarded. While searching, Teddy meets a former psychiatrist who was committed after trying to expose the hospital's secrets. This man tells Teddy that something very wrong is happening at Shutter Island. He warns that the doctors are experimenting on patients and that anyone who questions them ends up as a patient themselves. Teddy leaves Ward C more confused than ever, but even more certain that he's onto something dangerous. As the hours go by, Teddy starts feeling paranoid. He doesn't trust the staff, the patients, or even his partner Chuck. He begins to believe that he's being watched and followed. He tells Chuck that he thinks the government is involved, that the hospital might be experimenting with drugs or mind control techniques, and using the patients as test subjects. He even starts to wonder if the island itself is a trap. The deeper he looks, the more twisted things seem. But Chuck tries to keep him grounded, reminding him they need evidence, not just theories. Still, Teddy can't shake the feeling that he's being manipulated. Teddy becomes convinced that the hospital is hiding its worst secrets inside the island's lighthouse. It's a tall, isolated structure guarded around the clock. No one is allowed near it, and the doctors claim it's just for maintenance. But Teddy doesn't buy it. He believes it's where illegal experiments are happening, possibly even lobotomies or worse. As the storm begins to pass, he decides he has to find a way inside. He knows it's risky, but he believes the truth is in that lighthouse, and he's not leaving the island until he finds out what's going on there. Then, something strange happens. Chuck disappears. One moment he's helping Teddy plan their next move, and the next, he's just gone. When Teddy asks about him, the staff claim he came in alone, that there was no Chuck Halley. Teddy starts to panic. He's sure they've done something to Chuck to stop their investigation. The confusion and isolation begin to take a toll on him. He tries to find his partner but is blocked at every turn. He begins questioning everything, including his own memory. His visions become more intense, and he starts seeing Chuck in his dreams too, along with his wife Dolores. Eventually, Teddy meets a woman hiding in a cave who claims to be the real Rachel Solando. She tells him a shocking story. According to her, she was a psychiatrist who uncovered the hospital's darkest secrets and was silenced by being labeled as insane. She says the doctors at Shutter Island drug the patients and experiment on their minds. She warns Teddy that they're doing the same to him, that his food, his cigarettes, even the water could be drugged. Teddy doesn't know whether to believe her, but her story lines up with some of the things he's experienced. It gives him one final push to go to the lighthouse. Teddy's journey reaches its final stages as he heads for the lighthouse. He's been through a storm, uncovered disturbing secrets, and lost his partner. His mind is worn out, his body is exhausted, and he feels like he's the last sane person on an island that's trying to break him. What he finds inside the lighthouse, however, will change everything. The truth that awaits him is not just about the hospital, it's about himself, his memories, and the life he thought he knew. It's the kind of truth that makes you question reality itself. But to say any more would be to give too much away.